Hello. Hi. This is Mickey Sunshine Creates, and I'm Mickey. Welcome to all of you on the replay. Oop, it's telling me that I'm live now. I know I'm live because I'm here with you guys. I've got some funny did you know facts, some simple whys, and maybe some ifs and buts. I know that sounds silly, but it's interesting. Hello, Glitter Pants. Michelle, how are you? Hey, Adi. What's up? Kayla, how are you doing today? Shawana, welcome. How you doing, honey? Good, I hope. I hope you're all doing good. I mean, we're all in this enforced confinement, which doesn't really bother those of us who diamond paint because it just gives us more room to do it, right? More time. Except for the being out of work for so many of you. It's going to be hard. That Shawana's happy she's off work. Well, I've got some funny things here for today lined up. Some ways to pass the time and laugh and maybe get our minds off this stupid virus and what it's doing to us. Yeah, we all hate this virus thing, Michelle. It's not very conducive to having a good time on St. Patrick's Day, which it is. By the way, hey, happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. No, I'm not wearing green. I don't look good in it. It's a bad color for me. Bad color. Get that in there. Get in there. Thank you. You can't find any ravioli besides that, you're fine. Oh, Audie. Oh, Audie. Our restaurants, many of our local restaurants, the high-end ones that wanted to stay open now can't. So they're offering delivery, which I think is wonderful. I can get delivery from my favorite restaurant now, which is great. I don't have to go out because I don't like going out anyway. I went out this morning to vote. Nobody was there except for I think there was one other person there besides my roommate and I. And otherwise, the place was like deserted except for the poll takers, whatever you call them, the volunteers. And I was able to go in and out, 1, 2, 3. All voting should be like that every year. Yeah, it was very nice. It was easy for a change instead of waiting and waiting and waiting online like I used to have to do. Of course, now I would go for early voting, but down here, seems everybody's got the same idea. So on the days that early voting is open at the libraries and other places, the lines are out the door. And I mean out the door and down the block. So early voting is no guarantee that it's going to be easy voting. But it's over now. It's done. We'll find out who won the primary tonight. I'm not worried about it. Well, I am worried about it, but I don't like talking politics, so we'll not talk about that. The virus is bad enough. Don't need more stuff to aggravate me. All right, I'm going to start. Did you? I have. Are you? I have to learn how to talk. Did you want to know some funny did you know facts? And tell me if you've heard them before. Did you know more people are killed annually by donkeys than die in air crashes? It's easier to get killed by a donkey, by an ass, which is always true, than it is to get killed in an airplane crash. So next time you want to fly, just think, as long as there are no donkeys around, you're probably safe. All right. Did you know every citizen of Kentucky is required by law to take a bath once a year? I'm sorry, that's just silly. I mean, that is just like really silly. But I guess it's better than no bath. Yeah, of course it makes sense back in 1800s, but now once a year, take a bath once a year? Ooh. All right. Did you know no word in the English language rhymes with month, orange, silver, and purple? No rhyming there. Sorry. That's a silly one. It's, I'm sorry. But did you know the United States has never lost a war in which mules were used? That means we need to send some mules over to Afghanistan. Excuse me. Then maybe we won't lose. Mules. Oh, excuse me. I laugh and it gets to my throat. Colors just goes to show how unique those colors are. What colors, Adi? Excuse me. What does that mean, Adi? Dang. I got to stop this coughing. And no, it's not from the virus. I don't have a fever. I have hay fever. I think I have allergies. Orange and purple. Yeah, those colors are unique, all right. Orange and purple. The two of them together. Oh my God, what a clash. What a clash of colors. And nothing rhymes. Purple, purple, purple. Nope, nothing rhymes with purple. Okay. The only two nations whose name begins with an A but doesn't end in an A are Afghanistan and Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan, whatever. Interesting. I guess the rest of them end in A. I wouldn't know. I'm not very good at geography or in knowing my country's borders. Oh, here's an interesting one. A jiffy is an actual unit of time for 1/100th of a second. So the next time you say, I'll be back in a jiffy, you better be quick. Because it means 1/100th of a second. That's like not enough time to blink. So what do you think of that one? 1/100th of a second is a jiffy. Jiffy this, jiffy that. I'll be back in a jiffy. It's like when you say, I'll be back in a second. Seconds up. Jiffy is even quicker than that. Okay. Dueling is legal in Paraguay as long as both parties are registered blood donors. So you can't duel unless you're a registered blood donor, but if you do have a registered blood donor, you can duel. It's legal. Only thoughts move at that speed. That's true. 1/100th of a second is a jiffy. Not sure how that came about. I'd sure like to know, though, who came up with the word jiffy. And why, for crying out loud, 1/100th of a second, why? It makes no sense. Oh, that was funny. Okay. Now, this is strange. Not sure why it's here. It doesn't make any sense. It says, did you know every dog in my house is required by law to take a bath once a year? I don't have a dog anymore. And once a year? Oh, it'd be more often than that. Hey, Sariba, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Though I'm sure you've been in lives, I've just missed you. Did anybody attend Mrs. Coffee's live this afternoon? We're all glad she's feeling better. I'm sorry to hear that she had a mini stroke. You were there, Sariba? The chat was going so fast, I couldn't keep up. I mean, I'd catch one person and then that was it for the next 10 minutes. Okay, we're done with fours. Let's go on to three. You okay, Dan? Yeah, he's okay. Like me, we cough a lot. I don't know why. Getting old, I think. Getting old affects your voice. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. All right. Simple question, why? Why are boxing rings square? Somebody answer me that. It's a ring. Why is it square? Should be round. Would make for a much more interesting fight, too. I mean, that might be why mixed martial arts is done in those quadrangles or whatever, in the larger ones. Mine kept freezing. My daughter has been quarantined, so I've had my grandson. Oh, is your daughter sick, Sariba? Hey, Bianca, how's it going, girl? Stability? Yeah, that's a good reason why boxing rings are square. Hey, Mystical 81, what's up? Welcome. Okay, I know I have more of these here somewhere. I'm not completely alone in this. Down you go. Okay. Why do we press harder on a remote control when we know the batteries are flat? I have to admit, I do that. When I know the batteries are going dead, I don't know why, but I press harder on the remote. Not that it's going to make a difference. Uh, uh. Okay, why does someone believe you when you say there are 4 billion stars, but check when you say the paint is wet? That's a good one. Like that. She's getting better and she's home. That's good. Well, they say if you're young and healthy, you shouldn't have a problem with it. It's only the elderly and those with compromised immune systems or lung issues that have problems. Healthy people are not dying, which is why I don't understand the panic. Hey, Robert, welcome. Glad you can make it today. On this, for me, it's a beautiful Tuesday. Sunshine, little hot, a little bit too hot for me. It's in the 80s. I'd rather have a little cooler weather, but otherwise, it's nice. Here's another interesting one. Why does Tarzan have a beard? Or rather, why doesn't he have a beard? I mean, think about it. He's been spent all that time in the jungle. You telling me he gave himself a close shave every day? I don't think so. So who here is off work, is not, does not have to go in? Is that everyone? Is that why you're all here at this time? Which I'm grateful for because I like having people around. It makes me feel less lonely because I do spend a lot of time in the house working on my diamond painting, which is why all I have is this one small section to finish on my chuck-along. You always thought he was a teenager? Tarzan was a teenager? Not so sure about that. He was supposed to be an older man when he was discovered. You've been out since Friday, Mystical. Are you getting paid? I hope. I mean, that's the problem. These companies, Audie goes to work every morning, but it's half day, so you're home by 1. I was saying that's the problem. The companies that are letting you, take the time off because you have to and paying you at the same time are losing money. I mean, can you imagine how much money Walt Disney is losing? Disney World and Disneyland and all the others. I mean, they closed every park. Bianca, the schools are still open where you are? That's it for threes. Now we go for twos. Bianca, thinking about leaving my oldest boy, 2 boys, home next week, as next Friday is last day of school for 2 weeks. Well, they've given everybody here a week off before spring break. And starting tomorrow, students in grades 1 through 12 will have to take classes online. And they've given laptops and computers to almost every student. Yeah, Robert, same thing here. Libraries are closed, pools are closed. Like I said, most of the restaurants are open, but they're not open for business. They're open for takeout or delivery. So hopefully they won't lose too much money. But so many of these businesses are living hand to mouth, as well as their employees. And I mean, think about the waiters and waitresses who aren't going to be making any tips. That's going to affect them seriously. At my oldest two boys' school is a disability school plus mainstream school, and they stay there until 18 years old, but there's over 1,000 kids there. That's all? 1,000 students? That's all? You should see some of the classes, the schools here. There's well over 1,000 students. I'm supposed to be going in November, and it's no standstill because I don't know when we can travel again. You're going to Disney World, Mystical? Yes, Bianca, I'm almost done. I am almost done here. And I don't know what I'm going to do until I start Sneaky Cat, which is next. I'll be doing that as a challenge with Allie. Corroboration. Collaboration? Collaboration. Corroborate. Whatever. We're doing them together, Sneaky Cat. So I have to find some snacks. New Jersey is on lockdown. Almost every state is. At school, I'm guessing about that. At the school, I did try to Google it, but nothing came up. Have you tried calling the school? Well, I have disability in my leg. I did have 17. I don't know that word on my leg. Sorry, Robert. I'm not getting it. Color me stupid. Or just confused. All right, I got another one. Why does a round pizza come in a square box? Yeah, I know, again, support. But still, round pizza should come in a round box. I know, it's harder to make a round box. Hey, Rebecca, how are you today? I hope you're doing well. The supermarkets here are opening their doors at 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. for the disabled and the old people. So I'm going at 7 in the morning. Good idea. Good idea. I don't know what they're doing here. I just know I'm set for the most part. We just picked up a couple of steaks today, and we have a bunch in the freezer. And we have plenty of toilet tissue because we stocked up every month when we go to BJ's at the warehouse. Every month or two, we get one of those giant things of toilet tissue that have like 4 in them. Let's see. Stay. Rebecca's on the way. Come on over. Rebecca, we got enough. Let's see. Bianca, yes, I know you've got disability, so you could go in with your mom. Good idea. Yeah, I have a disability too, but I don't want to go in. I want to stay away from the stores. Though they are restocking. They're just not restocking very fast because as soon as they put it up, it goes out. So there's that. Yeah, that's right. There's nothing on the shelves. But I'm sure by 7 in the morning, tomorrow morning, they'll have enough of what you need. Otherwise, they wouldn't open it to you guys like that. I mean, let's face it, this isn't the apocalypse. This is just a precaution to be safe so that we don't get a worse pandemic than it already is. But I think it's just a flu. And just like anybody who gets the flu, you can die if you're not healthy. Yes, it's zombies outside. Rebecca, it's not the zombie apocalypse. You wouldn't think so by what's going on. Bianca has to go and get Riley to school. Enjoy your life. Bye, Bianca. You have a great day. And enjoy your shopping tomorrow. I hope you get everything you need. All right. Thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, a little thumbs up wouldn't hurt. Allie's not feeling well today, so she's not here. At least she wasn't earlier. She was gonna take a nap. Gonna lay down. All right. Here's another one. Why do banks charge a fee on insufficient funds when they know there is not enough? Hello. I mean, it's not as if they're going out of their way to, in any way, shape, or form. They're just telling people, you present your check to them and they say, I'm sorry, there's insufficient funds. So why do they charge you a fee to tell you that? Bianca, all I say is Asian people are getting buses and going to our supermarkets and emptying us out when they're 2 hours away from us. That's not right, Bianca. I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know why they're doing that, but I'm sorry that anybody is being bussed in from 2 hours away. That doesn't make sense. Well, I suppose if you're panicking, it does. No, the police charged one lot of people yesterday trying to do that. Oh, good for them. That should be illegal, along with price gouging. I still don't understand the toilet paper crap. I don't understand what's going on with that. I really don't. I mean, yeah, you got to be in the house for 2 weeks. You should have sufficient toilet paper. But why do you have to take it all off the shelves? Why do you need more than a week's worth or 2 weeks worth of toilet paper? One thing of toilet paper should last you a month. Bye, Bianca. Okay. How come how about some ifs and buts? If people evolved from apes, why are there still apes? It's a good question. If we evolved from them, shouldn't they be gone? Why are there still apes? I don't know. Hey, Crane. What can I say, Rebecca? Things just come out of my mouth. How are you doing today, Crane? Or is it Cranes with the S? I always assume the Cranes is possessive. Cranes Creations. There should be an apostrophe there. I'm very good. I'm having a great day. It's beautiful out. I'm almost done with this. I finally unkitted my last two projects so I can have kits for the next couple of projects. And the next project, Sneaky Cat, will be coming up soon, unless Allie wants to wait, because I waited this time. Thank you, Rebecca. It is coming out very nicely. I am very proud of it. And I'm going to be hanging it on the wall where I can see it over there. And I can't wait to finish it. I'm very anxious to get it done. Even this is all I got. I'll finish this today. Easy. Easy peasy. Any more equal signs? No more equal signs? Here we go. Get out. Come on. You guys don't belong there. Thank you. Yes, I talk to my drills. Doesn't everyone? What's next? Probably Sneaky Cat, Rebecca, but I might do a couple of snack paintings first because Sneaky Cat's not supposed to start till the first of the month, and we want to finish the Chuck-along before I start the Sneaky Cat. I know I did it fast, Suzanne. Oh, hi, Suzanne. Welcome. I know I did it fast. I have the luxury of time. I'm retired. Well, disabled and retired. Though according to Social Security, I am now officially retired because I'm not on their rolls anymore as disabled because I'm 66 next week. I finished this in 2 weeks. I started this on the 29th and it's now what, the 17th? So I finished it in less than 2.5 weeks. I could probably do Sneaky Cat in a month. You're right. I just hope I have enough room on the table for it. I may have to knock a few things off the table. Here. Okay, let's go for this color. My dot, my single dot. Okay. If someone with a split personality threatens to commit suicide, is it a hostage situation? I like that. Oh, I like that one. I have another interesting question for you. Can you cry underwater? That is an interesting question. Can you cry underwater? You wouldn't think so. You're already underwater. So how can you cry? Rebecca can cry anywhere. Aw. Aw. Here's a dad joke. If money doesn't grow on trees, then why do banks have branches? Another dad joke. If a deaf person goes to court, is it still called a hearing? Funny. Not. That was an oucher. That one practically hurt. How large is my stash? It's not that as large as you'd think. I'd say I've got about 20 in my stash, maybe 15, 20. Not very large. Most of them are snacks or came from AliExpress. I do have, besides Sneaky Cat, I think I have 2 Diamond Art Clubs I still haven't gotten to. Which one is funny, Rebecca? The deaf person or the money growing on trees? Yes, it's a small stash, Suzanne. I'm afraid don't have enough expendable income, disposable income to buy as much as I would like. I did buy some extra ones for me this month, though, because it's my birthday month. So I treated myself. And I do have a budget to buy myself at least one a month. But I'm being careful. Money growing on trees, that is a funny one. Why are they called branches? Rhetorical question, of course. Well, thank you, Robert. It's not until next week, but thank you. Okay, onward to 4. My 4 placer. All right. Oh, here's an interesting fact. The letters A, B, C, and D do not appear if you spell any of the numbers between 1 and 99. Funnily enough, the letter D comes for the first time in 100. Thank you, Suzanne. I hope so too. Let's hope this virus is done for by then. I doubt it, but one can hope. My girlfriend, my best friend, was going to take me out to dinner. We were going to go, and I was going to have a lobster and really enjoy myself. And now I'm afraid I'm going to wind up going over to her house and we'll order in from one of our favorite restaurants. And we'll just eat in and watch TV. And relax. No, she doesn't diamond paint. I wish she did. She'd find it very stress relieving. And she's under a lot of stress all the time. 160 in your state and 1 death. That's not bad, but that's a lot. When you think of how many millions of people there are in each city, state, country, 160 doesn't seem like very much, does it? But any death is unacceptable. Not when it can be avoided by simply staying home. Don't breathe on me. Stay home for a couple of weeks. Let's wait till this virus dies out. Or the vaccine. is proven. They did go. I was reading that they did go to human trials this week on a potential vaccine. Where are you, Robert? I asked curiously. 440. You have 441, four deaths, and only 11 have recovered. You mean those? There's still 438 people, or whatever it is. I'm terrible in maths. It's all over Canada. I guess people travel a lot in Canada. Not sure why. It's wintertime, the end of winter. I think people would stay home from the cold. Well, they're closing the colleges here. They've closed the schools already. All events have been canceled. They're discouraging any gathering of people of more than 50. And odds are that even 50 is too much. Because if one person has a cold or the virus, now you got 50 people all exposed to it. So even that's too much. I wouldn't take any chances, even if I were a person who goes out all the time. I'm a homebody and stay indoors most of the time. I take my vitamin D because you have to take vitamin D if you want to stay healthy and undepressed, because it does help with depression, along with my antidepressants. But here's some more funny facts. The first couple to be shown in bed together on primetime television. Does anybody know this answer? Let's see if you can guess. Who was the first couple to be shown in bed together on primetime television? Let's see if you guys know this answer. It's an interesting fact. It shows how prudish people were back in the earlier days. I won't say when because that might give it away. Anybody? Who's the first couple to be shown in bed together on primetime television? Come on, Rebecca, you got to know this one. You watched the show growing up. So did I, if that helps. Okay. The answer is Fred and Wilma Flintstone. No, Cereba, it was Fred and Wilma Flintstone. The Flintstones were the first couple to be shown in bed together on prime time. Of course, their bed was made of rock, so it couldn't have been very comfortable. I know, a cartoon show. It's funny that happens. It's also funny that Before then, they wouldn't allow. That's right, Audie. Wow. No, they're not real people. But it didn't say people, it said couple. They get you there. All right. Oh my God, I did not know this. And it's perfect for St. Patrick's Day. Coca Cola was originally green. What an abhorrent color for soda. Green soda. But would be appropriate for St. Patrick's Day. I wonder why. Wish they'd give more information on these answers. These in little tidbits. I would love to know why it was green and what happened to make them change it. Besides the fact that people would probably put off. I don't know. Oh, this is sad. Every day more money is printed for Monopoly than the U.S. Treasury. That's sad. I wish it were the opposite. I can't spend Monopoly money. Can't buy bread with it. And that's the one thing we forgot to get is bread. So he's going to go out Thursday because he's got a doctor's appointment, my roommate, and see if he can pick up some bread because it's his bread that is missing. I use a different bread. I like Martin's potato bread. I find it tastier. And it is a little more expensive, but sometimes you got to have the brand. There are some things you just have to have the brand on. Like Dawn. I won't use anything but Dawn. Someone else said that too in another chat. I forgot who that was. We were talking about that. Anyway, let's go on with this. Every day more money is the Hawaiian alphabet has only 12 letters. That's interesting. Only 12 letters in the Hawaiian alphabet. I did not know that. Now I do. Not sure what I can do with that tidbit of information, but if ever I'm on Jeopardy, I might know the answer. If someone said there are 12 letters in the alphabet, I'll say, Hawaii. What is Hawaii? It's Jeopardy. I have to answer with a question. Okay. Men can read smaller print than women. Women can hear better. Now that's fascinating. I'm not sure how that relates to anything, but it is fascinating to know that women hear better. Not in my house. I'm slightly deaf in my right ear. So I don't hear better. I hear worse. What, Suzanne, that men can read smaller print and women can hear better? I'm not sure I believe it either. But I'm sure research was done somewhere. That's why I wish they had more information on these. All right, let's see. The city with the most Rolls Royce per capita is Hong Kong. So if you want to meet someone with a Rolls Royce, go to Hong Kong. More Rolls Royces. That's an interesting fact. Again, not sure what I would use it for, but it's an interesting tidbit to know. Little trivia there. All right, let's go on to the next is this is fascinating. I thought it would be higher. The percentage of Africa that is wilderness is 28%. And the percentage of North America that is wilderness is 38%. So percentage-wise, the U.S. has more wilderness than Africa. Isn't that fascinating? Now that I find fascinating. Oops. Oops. I just popped my own drills. Shame on me. One and there, fixed it. That is an interesting fact. Barbie's measurements, if she were life size, would be 39, 23, 33. Isn't that Dolly Parton? I think Dolly Parton's bigger than that and has a smaller waist, or had. Past tense. I'm not so sure she does now because, middle-aged spread. We all get it. The Kentucky Derby is delayed to September, and NASCAR has been put off. All the sports are delayed now, and who knows how they're going to catch up. But it should be fun for sports fans when they do. There'll be so much on TV, you won't know what to watch first. Okay, let's see here. Now, this is very, very interesting. The cost of raising a medium-sized dog to the age of 11 is $6,400 or 3,500 pounds. That's a lot of money to raise a dog. But it's over the course of 11 years, so not too bad. But when you think about all that money that you're putting out, having a dog, having a pet is expensive, especially if they get sick. Then it's a killer. And often results in euthanasia because people can't afford the high vet bills. And you don't want your pet to suffer. So if you can't fix them, euthanize. Not necessarily a good thing, and a very sad thing when it does happen. That happened to my puppy. She had really, really, really bad arthritis. She was 12 years old and had arthritis so bad she was in such pain, and nothing helped. We tried everything. And I just didn't want her to suffer anymore. I mean, this poor thing would actually cry when she got up. She'd let out a cry. I let out a cry when I get up. I wouldn't want my dog to do it. The year's event may very well all happen at once or not at all, I fear. It's true, Audie. But I think it's going to happen. It's just delayed. Oh, Suzanne, I'm sorry to hear that. That must have cost a fortune. See, I've been lucky in that none of my animals got really, really, really sick until they were really old. So basically, they died of old age, even though I did put them to sleep because I can't stand the suffering. I hear a cat or a dog cry every time they get up or under certain circumstances, and they're in pain. I can't take it. I have to do something and I can't let that animal suffer. They don't know any better. Oh, he lost his tail. Oh, sorry to hear that. See, now that I would probably pay for to get fixed. I mean, that's an injury, and especially if the dog is young. How old was your dog, Suzanne? Lost his tail, then was bitten by other dogs? Oh boy, your dog doesn't have very good luck, does he? Or she? He's 7. Yeah, that's young yet. Hi, Valerie. How are you? Welcome, and thank you for coming in, stopping by, saying hi. All right, let's see another interesting fact. Though this won't hold true for this week, the average number of people airborne over the U.S. any given hour is 61,000. That's a lot of people. No wonder so many people got sick. At any given hour, there were 61,000 on average, 61,000 people in the air, in airplanes, in breathing in all that wonderful virus. I'm sorry to hear happened to babies. What happened to babies, Valerie? Are we still talking about animals? Oh. And no, I'm not sick. I just have allergies. They drive me crazy. Antihistamine just gives me dry mouth. It doesn't do much to help. Let's see, what do we got here? What do we got? What do we got? Oh my God. All right, you have to get your hair tested because apparently intelligent people have more zinc and copper in their hair. Okay. So I have more zinc and copper in my hair. Yeah. The world's youngest parents were 8 and 9 and lived in China in 1910. That doesn't seem right, does it? When retired, who cares? You're right. Oh, I wish I could breathe through my nose like a normal person. All right, let's see. The youngest pope was 11 years old, but they don't tell you who it was. I should know this, but I don't know. I do not know. Fur babies. My phone is extremely old and it's hard to type. Oh, hence the typos. Sorry to hear happened to the fur babies. Yes, me too. Now that makes more sense, Valerie. That makes much more sense. Does anyone know who the youngest pope was? He was 11 years old. Anybody know who that was? I'm Jewish, so I have no knowledge of the Catholic Church. Oops. I have to use my neti pot when my allergies get really bad. It's a lifesaver to clear the dust and pollen. I tried a neti pot once. Ugh, it was so uncomfortable. I don't want to use it again. I'm sure it works, but then I don't like nasal sprays either. Kind of like I feel about that the way some people feel about needles. I really, I don't want it. I don't want to stick anything up my nose. My nose was broke back in '86, and I went through enough pain and trauma on my nose that I don't care to introduce anything else to it. Paul? I don't know. Pope John Paul or Pope Paul? I don't know. 11 years old, though? Why would they choose a pope that's 11 years old? I mean, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I know that, Cereba. You have to use distilled water. But just the idea, kind of like the idea of shots for some people, the idea of putting something up my nose. I couldn't do cocaine either. Just the idea of putting something up. I'm known to not sense in person. On here, it's just typos. Oh, you're known not to make sense in person, but here it's just typos. I agree with you, Valerie. I do the same thing all the time. But I'm sure you make sense in person, Valerie. I forgive the typos. As long as I understand what you're talking about, doesn't matter. We all make typos. Boy, this is coming along nicely, isn't it? I'm just trucking away on this thing. Okay, the first novel ever written on a typewriter. Anyone want to venture a guess? The first novel to be written on a typewriter. It's a famous novel, and I'm sure almost all of you have read it in school, at least. Nope, not Little Women. It's a bit too soon for Little Women. take my little elephant, which has the straightener on it, and straighten some of these out. There we go. The 11-year-old Pope was probably just the figurehead for the people secretly running the church, probably. And it was probably long ago when I think the Pope's position was hereditary, usually a relative, I think, a cousin, something. I don't know. I'm just throwing out wild shots in the dark. Pride and Prejudice, no, not Pride and Prejudice. Still a little too early for a typewriter. I think. I'm guessing. Don't take my word on that. All right. Give up. One person say give up. Oddie, Pride and Prodigious? Now that sounds like an interesting novel. But I knew you meant prejudice. But still, prodigious? I would have said the Bible, except that it's not a novel. And it wasn't written on a typewriter way back when. No, the novel written, the first novel ever written on a typewriter was Tom Sawyer. So we all know who wrote that and was the first to use the typewriter to write his novel. Ugh. Prime and prodigious. Yeah, autocorrect is a pain in the butt. It changes so many things. And if you don't watch what you've just written, which many of us don't, we just type it and go. I am among those who do that. The San Francisco cable cars are the only mobile national monuments. Wow. Now that's cool. That's very cool. I want to say it was a Hemingway story, but that is too new. True. No, it was Tom Sawyer. Oh. Breathe, girl, breathe. Lurking and making dinner. What's for dinner, Rebecca? I'm getting hungry. Get down there. Yesterday, I was working on this, and for some reason, I got the song "Fame" stuck in my brain. I could not get that song out of my head. For love or money, it was just in there. Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain. That's right. He was always ahead of his time. And he wrote the first novel on a typewriter. I think that's fascinating. Now, here's another did you know? Did you know that each king in a deck of playing cards represents a great king from history? Or at least a well known one? I did not know that. And they explain spades. Hey, Valerie. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you too. Spades is King David. Clubs is Alexander the Great. Hearts is Charlemagne. And diamonds is Julius Caesar. I did not know that. Now, why don't they design the cards to look like each of them? Now, that would have been cool. Yes. Are we having fun yet? I am. On a horse. If a statue in the park of a person on a horse has both front legs in the air, the person died in battle. If the horse has one front leg in the air, the person died as a result of wounds received in battle. If the horse has all four legs on the ground, the person died of natural causes. That's interesting. Next time you see a statue of a horse with a person on it, take a look at how many legs it's got up. That's fascinating. I wonder who came up with that idea and how they got every statue maker in the country to do that. So, which is why I don't really want to rely on that particular fact. Oh, this is cute. 111,000, no, 111,000,000, 111,111 or whatever, times 111,000,000, 111,000, 111, whatever, equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's fascinating. Funny how numbers work. Okay. Here's a question for you two. Trivia. What two people signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th? What two people signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th? And yes, we're talking about 1776. Anybody? Give you some time on that. Get over here. Get here. You do not belong there. Wrong color. John Hancock is right. And who's the other? I had no idea. I never would have guessed. I'll tell you, it's Charles Thompson. I have no idea who he is. But I gather he was one of our founding fathers. Nope, Audie. Already gave it away. I have no idea who Charles Thompson is. Let's see. Apparently, most of the rest signed on August 2nd, but the last signature wasn't added until 5 years later. Huh. Hey, Nick and Tina, how are you today? How you guys doing? Welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Bianca's back. Got the kiddo off to school? Or back from school? Or whatever. So the song Fame and the song from Cheers have been sticking in my mind for the past 2 days. And now I pass it on to you. Hello, Claudette. Thank you for coming in. Welcome. Stopping by for a moment. A moment is fine. We're just playing, I don't know, interesting facts. Here's an interesting one. The phrase rule of thumb is derived from an old English law which stated that you couldn't beat your wife with anything wider than your thumb. Oh my God. Do you, Valerie? Where do you live? How cruel is indeed, but back then, huh, beat your wife. I'll beat you. But that was, we got to remember, there was a time when women were property. We were nothing more than slaves to our husband or your father. You were treated as nothing. Very sad time. My Dreamer Designs kits are in today at my post office. Oh, you're going to go pick them up? I would think. I don't think I've ordered from Dreamer Designs yet, or did I? I don't remember. I made a few orders this week and last week rather, and I don't remember half of who I ordered from. You got the garden and horses. Oh, the Chuck Pinson. Thank you, Valerie. It's coming along very nicely. I have to admit, I'm almost done. This is the only section I have left. Is she working on it, Bianca? Hey, Dixie. What's up, girl? Welcome. How long has that taken you to do, Mickey Sunshine? No, it's at the post office with mine. Oh, okay, Bianca. I started this on February 29th. So it's been 18 days. I can't help it. I have the time and I get up in the morning and I come out here and I have my coffee and something to eat and I diamond paint and I do this all day long. Some people would look at me and say, "What are you, nuts, all day?" That's ridiculous. But you know what? It works for me. It keeps me sane, keeps my anxiety levels down, gives me a reason to get up and out of bed. I think diamond painting is very therapeutic. I'm not really fast. I'm no faster than anybody else. Like I said, I've got the time. I don't have to work. Actually, I can't work. Pick up 5. I'm going to work on Frozen, the first one, later. Good for you, Bianca. You're getting there with the squares. I love squares. There's just something about them, the way they line up, even when they're not perfectly even. They just, it's something satisfying about the squares. Of course, understand if they're clicking in, you're too tight and you might have pop ups. Any more 5s or 6s? Yes, there's one more 5. Here's a group of 5 right there. I'm mostly at home now because I canceled the appointments for my oldest 2 because of the virus. What, you mean doctor's appointments? I'm not going to risk them getting sick. True. Okay, right above Philadelphia, where Washington crossed the Delaware River from Pennsylvania to New Jersey. That's some location, Valerie. We have historic buildings everywhere. I live near William Penn's summer home, too. Cool. Dixie, you play squares with tweezers? God bless you. I would never. I tried. I tried a couple of times and they just went all over the place. They went all over the place. And I tried to practice. I tried doing it. I couldn't get the hang of it. I think my hands shake too much. Not noticeably, but enough that trying to work with tweezers, I could pick up 2. I don't think I can pick up 3. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Nope. Okay, let's see. Can I pick up 3? I got 3. Oops. And it just popped away from me. By 3. Wow, Dixie. That is, let's see, speech and overtime and behavior appointments and one-on-one workers for my kids each Saturday for swimming for 2 hours. Cancel that too. Well, one-on-one, I don't know. I wouldn't have minded that. Long as the person's not sick, but I understand your caution. Don't want to take chances. Anybody could be a carrier. This is the problem. The kids can be carriers and be asymptomatic. And it's not affecting children really, but they are carrying the disease. Virus. I hate that word disease. No, Bianca, I just tried to do tweezers. You saw me. I went popping all over the place. Besides which, I like my pens too much. Okay, I think that's it for 5 and 6s. Let's go on to 4s. I have a strange way of working. But then I'm strange. Okay, let's see. Did you know over 3 million Americans stutter? Stuttering is gender related and affects 3 to 4 times as many males as females. Holy macaroni. The cruise liner QE2 moves only 6 inches for each gallon of diesel that it burns. Wow. Wow. The school even canceled swimming through school program as they go to school during the week, so they stopped it for 2 weeks. Well, yeah, I would think so. Looking for your 4. Oh, I have several 4 placers. I keep them because eventually they die. I can checkerboard place them, but I can't do multiple drills. Wow. See, now I've been learning to do multis. I could do 3, 4, and 6. And with 6, I do 5s and 4s sometimes. And with 4s, I do 3s. I don't know. I do a lot of different things. I don't know what to call this one, though. This particular symbol. Looks like an upside down T. So I just call it T. That is an expensive boat to move. I mean, 6 inches on a gallon of diesel. Think about that. No wonder. I mean, if that's the QE2, what about the other ships? I'm sure they must also use a lot of fuel. They called off the school here for the rest of the year, Dixie? The rest of the year? That's surprising. Because here they just called it off until further notice. And they're making the kids do schooling online. They put all the classes online. Wow. I hope those kids are taking their classes online. Otherwise, there's going to be summer school and nobody's going to like it, including the teachers. Probably especially the teachers. I mean, we can't let our kids fall behind. Though more and more learning should be done online anyway, in my opinion. That's the way we're headed. Schools are becoming way too crowded, especially here in the States, in the cities. The country, not so bad, but in the cities, it's becoming really, really bad. Overcrowding is not helping. And it does a lot more damage than it does good, because you're not teaching these kids who are overcrowded. They're just getting distracted, and there's just too many people, too many kids. If they staggered school a bit more and put half the classes online, that might be better. Of course, not so great for parents who have to work. Oh, this is interesting. Because of thermal expansion, the Eiffel Tower is 15 centimeters taller in summer than it is in winter. Well, yeah, metal contracts in cold. Another interesting fact: the human head contains 22 bones. Well, I got 3 Daisy kits yesterday. I bought off Rebecca. Good for you. Let's see. Well, a lot of low income families don't have computers or internet. Dixie, over here, they're actually giving the students laptops. Many of the, I think, Apple and Best Buy and even Microsoft are donating to students. Yeah, universities are all, I think they sent everybody home at the universities, at all of them, and will be continuing their classes online. But then a lot of college students already take their classes online. I'm just wondering what those foreign students are going to do, those who don't have family here in the States that live outside the country, or don't have homes to go to. I mean, if a foster kid makes it into college, where's he going to go? Let's see. I got one for free because of a mistake, so I'm still waiting on Jewel for my mom. Good for you, Bianca. They're allowed to stay on campus, Valerie? That's good. You got this little light of mine, Swan Lake, and the gift one is Floral Delight. That sounds nice. Good for you. Yeah, that Cheers song just won't get out of my head now. Okay, let's see some more interesting facts. The human head contains 22 bones. Interesting. The tomato is the world's most popular fruit. Well, we know tomato is a fruit, not a vegetable, and it's the world's most popular. Very interesting. Oh, I wish you guys could see this. The largest flower in the world is Rafflesia arnoldi. Surprisingly, it is a parasitic plant that grows only on Sumatra, Indonesia.
You don't like it? Sure you do.
It was named after Sir Thomas Stamford Raffles, the great explorer. Never heard of him. 22 bones in the human head. Yes. I remember you've got jaw bones, ear bones, basilar bones. Tomatoes are indeed yummy, Audie. I love tomatoes. Well, no, I don't love them. I like them. I don't love tomatoes. I like them in salad. I don't like them on a BLT. I'd rather have a BT. No tomato. Extra bacon. Ah. Yeah, I used to make tomato sandwiches. Now that I don't mind, but for some reason a BLT just doesn't. The tomato just kind of ruins it for me. I'd just rather have bacon and tomato and lettuce. He steals them from you, Bianca. Riley's a little devil. Well, tomatoes are an easy plant to grow too, if you watch out for it. It's hard if you don't. What did who say, Dixie? With salt and pepper on your tomato? Tomato. You had tomato sandwiches too? Used to make tomato mayonnaise and white bread. Oh, just so good and refreshing in summer. I wish you can see that though. That flower is absolutely gorgeous. The petals can reach a foot and a half long, and if you were to touch one, the leaves are 1 inch thick. That's some huge flower. That's the largest flower in the world. Foot and a half long. You grow tomatoes, Dixie? How do they come out? Do they come out delicious? I'm sure they do. I live in an apartment, so I can't grow anything unless I do it indoors. And I have a black thumb, so I don't even try. I kill plants. You don't want to trust me to house sit a plant for you. You don't want to trust me with plants, period. I don't know why. I just, I either overwater them or underwater them, or I do something not right. And I don't know what it is. And it's kind of like I give up. Some summers they do bad, others really good. I can some and make tomato preserves with some. Sounds delicious. My grandmother grew tomatoes. She'd make tomato jam. Really good, too. Well, tomato is a fruit, after all. Why not jam?
Are you all done? Are you all done, buddy boy?
You talking to the cats again, Dan?
Yeah, I just fed them.
They just ate? It's feeding time at the zoo already? Well, the cats just ate. They're happy. canning is a science and an art form. I used to make chutney, and all my Christmas presents were always food, chutney or salsa of some kind. And I used to can them, and they'd keep for months and months and months. Ugh. My nose is so stuffed. Poor nose. Oh, this is interesting. In 1313, King Edward II stated that you are forbidden from dying in Parliament. And I know the reason for this. It's not written here, but I know the reason for this. The reason is that if you die in Parliament, you're entitled to a state funeral. And since the state doesn't really want to pay for a funeral, you're forbidden to die in Parliament. So if you die, you have to go outside. It's such a stupid law. Suzanne, single places only. Well, I did too for the longest time until I came across some color blocking pictures, paintings, and confetti's hard enough one at a time. To do, color blocking one at a time was like painful, more painful than trying to learn to use a multiplacer. So I can use a 3 and a 6. Well, 3, 4, and 6. Probably 5 also, but to me it's useless. Valerie, what's the answer to your question? What's the question? Did I miss a question? What's St. Patrick's Day question? Inquiring minds want to know. By the way, if anyone is interested, I'm using Not Your Mama's mud in my single placer and white wax in my multiplacer. At least in these multiplacers. Other multiplacers may hold patty wax or blue wax. But I like the white wax. For some reason, it seems to stick well and stays in the multiplacer quite well. I mean, you can see how I'm picking up with no problem. And I've been doing this for over an hour, and I haven't had to refill. But I refilled this morning. And I still haven't had to replace it. And I've been working on this pretty much all day. I did take some time out to color. I needed a break. Besides which, I figured if I didn't stop, I'd have nothing to do while we were talking. Okay, I'm confused. What'd you just get from Beth yesterday? Oh, duh. Never mind. Your mud. Your mud. It's good mud. Takes a little getting used to. Like the sticky, super sticky, which I ordered and I'm waiting for that to come. Because I got to try it. Thank you, Audie. Yep, that's Beth Minton's shop, Whimsical Daisy, if you're interested in Not Your Mama's Mud. Where did it go? I just saw it. There it is. Is sold out already? Well, last night when I was in chat, who was it? I have the world's worst memory. Mentioned Super Sticky. Oh, I think it was Crashly the other night. Mentioned that there was Super Sticky in the shop. So I went onto the shop and I got the last one. So the Super Sticky was sold out also in no time. That stuff doesn't stay on the shelves. Because it's good stuff. Oops. Okay, I'm humming to myself. That's not good. Okay, let's see some more fascinating did you know facts. Ravens are kept in the Tower of London because, according to myth, the British throne will come to a fall if the ravens leave the tower. The wings of the ravens are clipped to prevent them from flying away. Huh. Interesting. Which Chuck one and Bianca? The one I'm working on? This is Island Time. I have waited for Island Time and waited and waited and waited. I wanted it so bad last time, but I didn't have the money. And so it was sold out before I could get it. And then I rearranged my budget and decided to sacrifice a few other things, so I can have more diamond paintings. And I went on to Diamond Art Club, and what do you know? Island Time is back. So I got it. I'm not sure there's any left. Yeah, it is a pretty one, Bianca. It's a very pretty one. St. Patrick forced the people who followed any other religion except Catholics to conform or die. They killed people who wouldn't give up the Celtic religion. The Celts had snake tattoos on their arms. Yeah, they had a lot of things, the Celts. And I don't like the way religion is forced upon people. Nothing should be forced upon people. People should have the right to choose. And I'm so glad I live in such an enlightened time, even though there's still a lot to be done. There's still prejudice around, and people are still put in positions where they're forced to choose between two evils. Ooh, I finished with this one. This symbol is finished. There's a lot of those. Okay, I've kitted up my Crystal Lake cabin, but not started yet. Trying to do Frozen first as I've got 3 DIC started. Hey, Brian. About time you showed up here. Was wondering where you were. How are you doing today, kiddo? That's why we celebrate St. Patrick, for ridding Ireland of the snakes. Ah. Were they harming anybody? This is what I don't understand. I don't like that. That's a bad one. It's got a nubby on it. Ah. That's this one right here. Let's replace that with a good one. Elliot, Adi says. Elliot. Okay, here's some interesting thing. The Jersey or walking stick cabbage has a stem as high as a man and can grow 16 feet tall. A walking stick cabbage? Never heard of it. But then I'm a city girl. Kilts were invented by the Irish, but the word kilt is, in fact, Danish. You trying to get your phone fixed? Should be working now. Yay, Brian. Let's hope it's fixed. Get off. Okay. The human body burns about 60 calories an hour while asleep, 85 while eating, 130 sitting and working at a computer. That's all? Huh. In a national anthem survey, 79% of Americans know the first line of the Star Spangled Banner, but only 37% of Canadians know the first line of O Canada, which is really pathetic considering the first line of O Canada is O Canada. Jay Leno said that. That was said by Jay Leno. That's funny. That's very funny. Uh-oh. You ever get to a point where you see very little left in the in your bowl of drills, but it seems like there's way more waiting to be filled in, and you're afraid you won't have enough? Well, I actually ran out of a color, and Diamond Art Club sent it right out. I got it in 2 days. I just texted them and said, oh, I ran out of this color, and I gave them the color number, and boom, it was there. And they gave it to me, so I finished that. That was up here earlier today because it came yesterday in last night's mail. Let's see, any more 6 placers? No. Any 5 placer? There's a 5 placer. 5 places right there. Okay. When they are closed quickly, the crossover point on a pair of scissors is moving faster than the speed of light. Huh. I debate that as fact. Maybe not the speed of light, but the speed of sound? No. Then comes the question of how long are these scissors? Huh. I'm not sure that's a true fact. Neither are they. With knitting, we call it yarn chicken. So I guess in diamond, drill chicken. What is yarn chicken? I never heard of that. What in the devil is yarn chicken? Hey, Nana of 7, how are you? Haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. You're still loom knitting, Elliot. I thought you finished that hat already. Or are you working on another one? Breathe, breathe. Oh, I am so stuffed up. Let's see. This is very interesting. Until 1800, cookery was so dangerous that it was the second commonest cause of death among women after childbirth. Well, you're dealing with fire in the house. Until 1800, yeah, that's when they first came up with stoves, I think. I like the white wax too, Suzanne. It's in my multi-placers. Is that 3 or 4? That's 3. That's 4. Oh, Nana's going live tonight. What time, Nana? Oh. A pregnant goldfish is called a twit. Yarn chicken is when the design you're knitting calls for a certain amount of yarn and you're just not sure you have enough. Maybe the skeins of yarn don't quite have the same yardage. I never heard it put that way, but yeah, that's yarn chicken, all right. When you are looking at a ball of yarn, judging the amount you have left, and need to decide if there is enough left to finish the project or start another round, means cutting it close. Now I know. I've been yarning from way back when, and I never heard that. So, but it makes sense. Your kids are out until April 6th. Yeah, that's pretty much what they're doing here too. They're out for the next 2 weeks, at least until spring break is over, and who knows what's going to happen after that. Let's see. The American musician John Cage, 1912 to 1992, is best known for his 1952 composition 4 feet 33 inches, which consists of nothing but total silence. A, its 3 movements are performed without playing a single note. How is that music? Oh, I have something that you might laugh at next. But I'd still like to know how silence is music. I just don't know. The sixth sheep's sick is thought to be the toughest tongue twister in the English language. Yep, I'll agree with that. The sixth sheep's sick. Ooh, I said it. Don't know if I could say it longer. How many times fast? Charlie Chaplin once won only third prize in a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest. That's funny. That's very funny. All right, guys, it's getting late. And Wheel of Fortune is going to be coming on soon. Yeah, I love that too. Wheel of Fortune is coming on, and I'm heading into the living room as soon as I finish this color. Or not. So let me say goodbye to all of you, and thank you so much for coming. You've been a blast today. I had fun. I hope you did. You're welcome, Brian. Thank you all for coming, and I hope I will see you next week. And until then, as I have now saying, and don't ask me why, arrivederci.